the Hindu society, civilization, is focused on Jivan Mukti, enlightenment, moksha. Whether it follows the Shaiva tradition, Ganapatya tradition, or Sakta tradition, or Saura tradition, or Gaumara tradition, or Guru worship, Sampradayas, or Vaishnava Sampradayas, any Sampradaya. Basically, the ecosystem, a civilization, Samastana, is focused on enlightenment. And people who keep this knowledge of enlightenment and teach, they are paid. Sponsored, multi-level, paid regularly and sponsored for specific events and supported through grants and donations. And the people who maintain the social integrity by providing protection from the external destructive forces, invading forces, or internally revolting forces. Kshatriyas, they are paid and given awards and rewards. Listen, step by step, I am explaining. The knowledge keepers who keep the integrity and efficacy of the knowledge, Brahmanas, who give protection from external invasions and internal revolts and keep the living enlightenment, Jivan Mukti lifestyle. Kshatriyas, those people are given, they are paid and given rewards and awards when they demonstrate the valor, protecting the Dharma. And same next, Vaishyas, they are supported, encouraged, given protection, supported with the knowledge, encouraged with the infrastructure and market. Protected, given protection for their wealth, for all the services provided by the state to the Vaishyas. In turn, Vaishyas pay the tax to the state. And Shudras are empowered with the land and all the equipments needed to grow grains or everything else needed for the sustenance of the life. In turn, paid, supported with all their needs. It's an amazing, unique, very organized, legitimate civilization. I tell you, the pre-Brancian age civilization, the only civilization still alive, of course, in a very critical stage, beaten, broken, lost even confidence on themselves and their principles, their ancestors, constantly being told that your ancestors are stupid and your ancestors are useless. See, once you take someone's confidence about their heritage and past, he does not have any more future. Because he will not try to replicate his knowledge, heritage, past, the glory of the past in future. He will just surrender to you and listen to you and do what you say as the right future. To enslave a civilization and kill a civilization, remove their confidence about their glorious past. Successfully, this poisoning is done to Hindu civilization. It is almost in intensive care unit, emergency care unit. The only good news is it is not dead. I am back to revive. I will not let it die. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibasaha tasya kartaram apimam vidyakartaram avyayam. The four categories of Varna were created by me according to the people's qualities and activities. Although I am creator of this system, know me to be eternal and will come back again and again to keep this system alive. The only civilization still alive, not dead, from pre-Bronzean age is Hindu civilization, Varnashrama Dharma. And I'll be back again and again and again to keep this alive, giving confidence to people on this system is Hindu economic principle. For example, if a Brahmin does Agnihotra every day, teaches Vedas to the kids, not only he is given a regular salary by the king, all the punya he acquires, the merit he acquires by the sacred actions, not only he gets the Kailasa after death, he can encash his punya even as a usable currency like grains, gems, other items needed to run his life during the Ashwamedha Yajna, Putrakameshti Yajna, other major yajnas, yahas, rituals done by the king. Please understand. All the major yajnas done by the great kings in their kingdoms are dispersing the punya currency in Buloka, this world day-to-day usage currencies. Please understand this principle. This principle is going to be very important principle in Kailasa economy. I am going to revive this. If you serve any temple run as per Vedagamas, you get punya which you can use not only in Kailasa after you leave the body, you can encash them, withdraw as currency even for your day-to-day use, which can be in the form of grains, precious gems, precious metals, I mean what I am saying. This is the fundamental policy with which the Kailasa economic strategy and economic policies are getting evolved. Listen. Bringing legitimacy, economic legitimacy to all the religious actions, activities you perform. If you go around Arunachala, the Arunachala Purana describes you will get certain punya with which you can achieve and enjoy Kailasa. Not only you get that, you get even the country currency. You withdraw, you receive currency in the form of grains, clothes, other utilities, including precious metal, precious gems. The ritual happening where all this disbursement happens is yaga, yajnas conducted by the kings in those days. For example, when a Brahmin comes, the senior Vidvats, the senior Brahmins decide this person, this many years, is practicing all the Vedic rituals and teaching. So he gets this much of punya in Kailasa and this much of country currency. The Kailasa currency punya and country currency in the form of grains, precious metal, precious gems, clothes, whatever. This was a living economy of Hindu tradition and Hindu samsthanas, Hindu kingdoms. I am going to revive it. I will revive it with the grace of Ganapati, Paramashiva. All the gods and goddesses of Kailasa with their blessings. I will revive it.